What does it take for justice to unfold in the span of 10 minutes? On a quiet Sunday morning in Atlanta, the air was thick with the scent of magnolias and the faint hum of hymns spilling from the old brick church on Maple Street. Elaine Carter, a 38-year-old schoolteacher, stood outside the sanctuary, her hands clasped around a worn Bible, her heart heavy with hope for the day's service. She was a pillar in her community known for her warmth, her tireless work with kids, and her unyielding faith. But today, that faith would be tested. As the congregation filed out, a police cruiser screeched to a halt. Officer Daniel Hargrove, a man whose badge gleamed brighter than his judgment, stepped out. His eyes locked on Elaine, standing alone, adjusting her scarf. "You there," he barked, his voice cutting through the morning calm. "Step away from the church." Now, confusion rippled through the crowd. Elaine, startled but composed, asked, "Officer, what's this about?" Hargrove's response was a cold accusation. "You match the description of a suspect. Hands behind your back." The description was Vagia, black woman in a blue dress. Elaine, in her navy sundress, fit the bill, but so could half the women in the neighborhood. The congregation murmured, phones raised to record. Elaine's heart raced, but her voice stayed steady. "I've done nothing wrong. I'm just here for church." Hargrove, unmoved, snapped handcuffs on her wrists, the metal biting into her skin. The crowd's murmurs turned to shouts of protest, but Hargrove pressed her against the cruiser, his authority a shield against reason. 10 minutes. That's all it took for the world to shift. As Hargrove radioed for backup, a new figure emerged from the crowd, a teenage boy, no older than 16, clutching a phone. His name was Marcus, a student in Elaine's after-school program. His hands trembled, but his voice was clear. "Officer, you need to see this." He held up his phone, showing footage from a security camera across the street. The video was unmistakable. The actual suspect, a woman in a similar dress, had fled down an alley 10 blocks away, captured clear as day. Elaine wasn't even close to the scene. Hargrove's face tightened, but he doubled down. "This doesn't prove anything," he snapped, shoving Elaine toward the cruiser. That's when the twist came. Pastor Reynolds, a soft-spoken man with a fire in his eyes, stepped forward. He wasn't just the church's leader, he was a retired civil rights attorney. "Officer Hargrove," he said, his voice calm but unyielding, "you're making a mistake. Release her, or you'll face consequences you can't outrun." The crowd fell silent. Hargrove scoffed, but the pastor's words carried weight, backed by decades of legal battles. The pastor's phone was already connected to a live stream, broadcasting to thousands. The footage of Hargrove's actions, his hasty arrest, his refusal to listen, spread like wildfire. Within minutes, the precinct's phone lines lit up. The chief, watching the live stream, saw a PR disaster unfolding. Hargrove's radio crackled, "Stand down. Now." But it was too late. Elaine, still cuffed, looked at Hargrove with eyes that held no anger, only pity. "You didn't even ask my name," she said softly. The aftermath was swift. Hargrove was suspended on the spot, his badge stripped by the chief, who arrived to defuse the chaos. Elaine's cuffs were removed, and the crowd erupted in cheers, but her expression remained somber. She didn't want revenge, she wanted change. Pastor Reynolds, with Marcus by his side, filed a lawsuit before the sun set. The case wasn't just about Elaine, it was about every person who'd been judged by the color of their skin or the cut of their clothes. The lawsuit didn't just cost Hargrove his job, it forced the department to reckon with its flaws. Body cameras were mandated, training overhauled. Elaine, though shaken, returned to her classroom, her faith unshaken. Marcus, inspired, started a youth advocacy group, using his tech skills to hold power accountable. The church on Maple Street became a beacon, a place where justice wasn't just preached, but fought for. 10 minutes. A moment of prejudice unraveled by courage, community, and truth. Elaine's story wasn't about one woman's vindication, it was about the power of standing tall, even when the world tries to push you down. It was about the voices that rise, the hands that record, and the hearts that refuse to stay silent. Yendi.